So today I'm gonna bash on keto. Before I begin, before I rev up my fucking engine in my head, my cerebral cortex, my neocortex, and my medulla oblongata. Water to disclaimer: I'm not a nutritionist. I don't for legal reason, so don't be fucking come swinging your axe at me or anything. Hear me out before you hit that fucking dislike button, because I just made a flat earth video. Oh boy. I didn't even know people I could elicit such reaction. Fuck. I mean, most of the videos I make is like dropping a it's like a tree that drops in a forest that makes no noise, or rather like dropping a pebble in an ocean. I mean, it's basically in the YouTube sphere, no one cares. I don't even know how the fuck the people found that video of my the flat Earth. Fucking keeping in dislike. I don't think most of the people didn't even listen to the whole fucking video, and just out of spite. And probably the way I spoke, and that's fine. If you wanna hate me, fucking who cares? Fuck you too. And I'm actually showing my middle finger right now, in case I had to visualize, I had to, you know, yeah, I had to like put that visual image in your head. So before I begin, I think it's more fun to like take the, I don't want to call them unpopular opinion, just my last podcast, but I'll talk about unconventional opinion. And I like to, defend the indefensible, like just if I can defend the Satan, basically. So keto, yeah, I mean, I myself tried keto both nutritionally with intermittent fasting, and with exogenously with those BPI, those red pills. And you know what? It feels amazing. The nutritional one is brutal, and well, it doesn't feel amazing with nutritional one. And I didn't measure it with what you call those. I measured with only strips, and I know that's not accurate. But and nutrition and the exogenous ones, it feels amazing because it's a cheat, it's a hack. But you can't depend. You can't always just pop a pill and be in keto all the time and fucking lose your weight. So the reason why I want to bash it is because, and I do think it's a fad. I do think people who purport and trumpet and spout all this keto, they have their own agenda. They want the way they push for the agenda is like as if we have a fucking GNC at our backyard. No, you fucking moron. He goes, oh, and then one of the things I noticed, I always have gout issues whenever I do keto. And again, if it works for you, great. Go on your path. Fucking lose that weight, Lizzo. And there's another thing. Speaking of Lizzo, Jillian Michaels, just because she bashed the keto, all these keto evangelists, these keto nutheads, these keto nut jobs, these religious-minded these keto evangelists just attacked her. It's almost like you can't even say anything nowadays. Like, people don't have the patience to listen to a dissenting opinion without getting all riled up, and they blame you for being triggered for some reason. I don't know. Like, Jesus Christ. And it's just worse in Facebook. Like, the people say, how can people can be, oh, you illiterate bastards, why can't you be grateful? Really? That's the tone you have? It's like you're pretending to be this lovey-dovey kumbaya yoga mat carrying, kale shake drinking fucking bodhisattva, and you have this passive, this aggression, microaggression, you're harboring this aggression underneath you. Again, I'm doing that too, actually, come to think about it. But then again, I don't purport to be a lovey-dovey this peach, basically, this fucking whatever, this peace, the tree-hugging peacenik. I'm a fucking asshole, I'll admit it right away. So again, at least I'm not duplicitous. I don't wear a mask and spout one thing and pretend to be another thing. And it's worse than face. It's like another meme I created with the Homer Simpson choking Bart Simpson and saying, again, this copyrighted Zishan, choking and say, why can't you be positive? And that's what society has become. It's like, oh, why can't you be grateful? Why can't you be positive? It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Do you even realize how fucking hypocritical you sound? And it's ad nauseum, on and on ad infinitum on Facebook. This constant one-upmanship, constant superiority. We don't want to listen to other people. We don't want to listen to dissenting opinion without getting riled up and getting triggered. And we blame other people getting triggered. Once I put an opinion that a CBS or some NBC or whatever, they kept putting this dog thing, like dog puppy image, and I said, oh God, I know all I just wrote was, dude, no one cares about dogs anymore. And just like pack of hounds, all these people, lynch mob, attacked me. And I also mentioned how, like, Jesus Christ, I mean, just because that's my opinion, I'm not a fucking dog fan. It's like I'm a monster and an antichrist. One guy even wrote, and again, I don't agree with him. He said, "Why is it that Bill Gates is such a malevolent person?" I mentioned about it once, and then the lynch mob with their pitchfork started attacking him. I mean, yeah, and ironically, I do side with the mob. That yes, fucking Bill Gates there's something fishy about it, something off about him. You know, he has this vaccine issue, agenda. But just because someone says that, and it's worse even with the liberals. You know, the liberals pretend to be this preachy, they preach this compassion and understanding, empathy, and they're the fucking horrible monsters they are. I mean, again, I don't have any party. I'm not affiliated with any party. I'm non-partisan, but. And I'm just a social critic. I'm just cynical about how society has become, and it's toxic. By design it's toxic. There's this Sam Viknin. There's a psychologist who made a podcast about how social media is toxic by design. I suggest you check it out. So, and it's because of the toxic social media. You get people attacking Jillian Michaels just because of she had the audacity, the nerve, the gall to point out. Just even question that, you know what, keto is a fad diet, and which it is. You have all these doctors and whatnot. I'm not gonna name them. There's like if you come to them and say, "Oh, I have this problem," and people are in denial. They think this is like the magic pill, a panacea, silver bullet, which you cure of them all the illness, and it might very well do. But you get all these. Like I personally had gout problem, and I was extremely cranky because of the sugar withdrawal. I was falling to the letter, like, you know, strictly under 10 grams. I even went under 0 grams sometimes, and I was acerbic, I was cranky, I felt like I was an asshole. It was unbearable to be around. Like, I mean, this rage, like I would get triggered for just anything. And even in cloudy days with no serotonin from the sun, it was horrible. So yeah, probably keto wasn't for me. But why the arrogance to think that just because that you can't even question their credibility, and if you just label it as a fad, you're somehow the monster of fucking you vilified as the Antichrist. And that's the downsides of keto. And all these people who and that's another thing is, go to India, go to Bangladesh, go to China, go to Africa, milli, they have the wheat. In Africa, they're the sorghum. The diet, the majority diet staple in China is a staple diet is rice. In India, in Bangladesh is rice. So does it mean the whole fucking world will readjust their diet just to fit your narrative and agenda? Fuck you. Shows how dumb you are. So if I was God, I'm gonna create all these fruits and vegetables and fruits and potatoes and everything, and somehow pretend that they have no nutritional benefits, and somehow people should only stick to bacon and fatty food and all those diets. Fuck you. What a moron you are. So anyways, I think in my opinion, the best diet is the intuitive eating. Just eat as much as you can and just burn it off. You know, even Navy SEALs, SEAL Fit, there was Ben Greenfield. He was telling how at the end of on the last day of the Kokoro 50-hour boot camp, they made him eat all these pancakes and all these things, sugary food, maple syrup and everything. They treated him basically, and they went out for a run, and they were feeling horrible. But it's almost like they fed him up, they nutritioned them up, they boosted them up with all this, even albeit sugary diet, but as much, and carbs are not that bad, and they just burn it off because. And even Michael Phelps, he actually eats burgers. He eats burgers, like when he can get away eating burgers because he burns out too many calories. And I don't think for special forces or Navy SEALs or Army it actually works out. Keto doesn't work out. And even endurance athlete, it might work out, but not for like high intensity exercises. So yeah, every diet has their drawbacks. And Atlantean, there's a channel. Again, I don't subscribe to his channel. I'm sure he's a great guy and great dude. And I think he's one of those authentic, legit guy. And he also said, if you can stick to a diet for the rest of your life, probably that's what you should do. So my qualm is, yeah, I mean, if I was God, I wouldn't create any diet exclusively and choose meat and fat and bacon and say, okay, this is it, this is the gospel, this is the word of God. And the moment you point out that maybe it's not, you get attacked and vilified. And that's the reason why I'm making this podcast, just to basically in defense of Jillian Michaels. Again, I don't even know much about her. I haven't watched the fucking video of the in entirety, and I can be bothered. But what did rile me up is this lynch mob. We're creating a spate of lynch mob society, this downvoting hate culture. Again, there's nothing wrong with downvoting or something, but I was bullied as a kid, and I will always stand up as a bully. Even if it could be fucking 7 billion people says one thing, if I believe in something, fucking one thing, fuck you all. I'm fucking Scarface mentality, bitch. I'll take you all on. Because that's what I believe in. I'll believe in fucking Rosa Parks mentality, Eminem, Bill Maher mentality. Fuck, I'll stand up for what I believe in. I'll fuck you all if you don't agree with me. Fuck the world if they can adjust. Tupac mentality. But these millennials are so snowflakey and soft. It's just just if you dent their shell, and if you question their narrative, and if you penetrate their safe space, they get all riled up and they gang up, and it's even worse with the liberals, because I'm a fervent democratic liberal progressive minded person, and it's worse in my party because we don't have thick skin, and we're not compassionate, we're not understanding. We can sit down and listen to other person. You talk about preaching yoga and meditation. You know what Alan Watts would say? A Zen monk, he won't give a fuck about, I'm a paraphrasing, he wouldn't give a damn about you. But if you were to sit down and listen to you, he will actually sit down and actually completely listen to you, to give you undivided attention. And that's what the best you can do. But people are so duplicitous. They want this mask. They pretend to be fake positive and nice, but they don't fucking care about you. I mean, again, I'm going off tangent. Going back to keto, yeah. So I mean, obviously, it's not the fucking the gospel diet. I mean, Africans. So you're saying all the African people will shed their normal diet in Arabia, India, China, fucking Lebanon or whatever, kebab, the naan and fucking hummus. So the whole world will fucking readjust and reorient their diet just to fit your stupid agenda that this is it, this must be it. And do you even realize how stupid you sound? God created all the food, everything in abundance, and he gave everything. Even if you don't believe in God, like nature, whatever, I know it's became fashionable and faux pas to even mention God. Is you have to use words like source or energy, and I mean, or like fucking universe and whatever, nature and whatever. And even it became also fashionable to be sciencey type, to be atheistic, skeptic, sciencey type, and just bash religion and like. Then some people go even further and they practice New Age religion, but they worship themselves, they flagellate themselves with the altar of science. It's like, Jesus Christ, fuck. But I understand you're carving a personality for yourself, a niche of yourself, right? You're trying to be edgy by incorporating everything. You know, people do drugs for performance enhancement. Then don't smoke, but do weed. You know, I did weed, and but the thing is, weed can be as detrimental and as devastating as cigarettes. It doesn't kill you today in a single. And there's another thing. It has become fashionable, like anything, like weed has become in vogue, especially I live in California. Like the moment you point out that, you know what, it kills you slowly, like like a lobster boiling a lobster, because it creeps up on you. It takes over your life. Before you know it, you have to spend fucking $15 every day with swishers and a fucking weed and to roll it up, and it takes over your life, and you act like a fucking heroin addict because you need your money to. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but again, the arrogance to think that just because the narrative that smoking is the evil thing, nicotine, and weed is a better replacement. I mean, even in California especially, they look at you as a monster if you smoke cigarettes, and I don't smoke cigarettes. But I mean, I was in a beach like Laguna Beach, Heisler Park, and my uncle was smoking, and this bitchy lady once looked at her and said, "Oh, people are smoking nowadays." So let me understand. You are so superior and so compassionate bodhisattva. You're 10 rugs and pegs level above us, and we're some of the monster. He was some of the monster because of smoking. But you're but the reason why you have made this bitchy comment, you somehow get a free pass for that. Same happens with keto. You people let's say, oh, it has done amazing for my mind, the clarity, and it can. I have, you feel like Superman basically when you're on a keto. It's like a nootropic, and because omega, the fatty acid, omega 3, omega 6, and the butter, like everything, the fat, is the best fuel for your brain. And some people even, again, I'm not a nutritionist, but some studies even say babies would prefer keto, like fat based diet, over anything, and that was our natural diet. Again, that's all fair and dandy, but what what again, with the flat earth, with smoking cannabis, with keto, everything, this idea that you can attack, you can question in science, even scientism, the moment you raise questions, some people take their pitchforks and just like fucking those KKK, fucking those what do you call those, those fucking white nationalities, liberals bash them, but they do exactly the same mentality. They got the lynch-mob mentality. In Facebook they use the laughing emoji, which is actually designed for having fun. They use it in a smarmy, passive aggressive way for a spite, and people do it like, if you like, any day goes. Okay, you vilify the Republicans, but Democrats exactly do the same thing. They use this laughing smarmy emoji to mock and deride you. They use it for a tool of derision. So you don't practice what you preach. That's why Democratic parties are losing all their base. I mean, even though I'm a registered Democrat, but again, I'm pointing out what society has become. And maybe if we fucking COVID-19, we do deserve COVID-19. It shows, you want to talk about people again. I mean, I started on a keto. I better keep on track. But what I was gonna say is, people don't even say hi. Like, I was like, even if we're too off, I was the other day, some guy's car broke down in a parking lot, and I was smoking weed, and I was gonna help him. I was thinking of helping him, but I realized he kind of had a barrier, like, don't approach me barrier, as if people are, even if with the stupid feminist movement, as social justice warriors, even if you say hi to a woman, they get also fucking scared. It's like you're a fucking creep or a rapist or something. And like, so you know what, if I was God, I would say, you know what, you do fucking deserve social distancing, because if you're so paranoid that you can be near people, or if you're in a dentist's office or in some waiting room, you have to flip out your phone and look at it. And I am sure Mark Manson would back me up on this. That you can even look at that when you go on a date or like in a restaurant, you can look at a person and you have to flip out your phone. And it happens with the family, like, there's this cartoon, 4 people sitting. Again, it's a keto thing. I was gonna maybe I should rename it, not keto, but something else, like social critic or social cynicism or something. But yeah. You fucking, you can maybe you do deserve social distance, because that's what you do in real life. You don't look at people, you don't talk to people, genuinely you don't want to connect people. And it's a millennial problem. Millennial snowflakes, they don't have the balls to talk to the manager. They make fun of, oh, he asked for the manager, what a horrible person he must have been, he has an angry customer. Really? You don't have you go to your Yelp and yap about how bad the food was in a nasty, vile way, and you vilify some people having the guts and courage to actually speak up to the manager. What a pussy I've become, this snowflake, retarded fucking millennial. And again, I can probably kind of say the R word because people are so fucking on the edge right now. I'll probably get slammed for that, but yeah, you're such a doofus that that I have to switch that and replace that word with another word. That just because on a keyboard you're a Rambo, and again, I am a Rambo too on keyboard, but at least I don't do my fucking 10,000 jump cuts in one fucking frame. At least this is the real me you're getting from the core. I don't fucking use 10,000 jump cuts making a stupid video and in the fucking 3-second frame or anything. If this is how I yammer and stammer, hey, this is what you get. This is who I am in real life. So again, so going back to keto, I want to start with keto, but I did this whole bashing society and everything. But yeah, that's the whole point of society. It's like people don't have the guts to confront people in a gentle, civil way, have a civil discussion and a disagreement. Joe Rogan's shows, they're beautiful. You can have that in Joe Rogan's show and some other shows too, where they're civil discourse. But Russell Brand, I think, yeah, another guy. But yeah, so you can have a, but you use a fucking, you have this mob mentality where you gang up on people, and you also, whether in social media, and it's like tyranny of the majority. Democracy is not always, this like this hallowed idea. People can misuse their democracy. Tyranny of the majority. This whole Lord of the Flies thing, where people gang up on and that's what boils me. So that's the whole reason I wanted to do this podcast. This audio podcast is because I hate that mentality. I myself was bullied when I was a kid, and again, I'm not playing victim here. Maybe that shaped me to be who I am, to get me a sort of thick skin for the most part, and I laugh off all the insults. Yeah, sometimes it does hurt me, like personally, like when on social media, on Facebook or something, and I switch off or like, I deactivate something. Yeah, again, I'm human, but this mob mentality, I despise that. If a white guy goes to they make fun of the awkward white guy rapper. They gang up on them black people, and you know what? I'll call up the black people on that one too. Like you talk about being victim and everything, but you become exactly what you despised. You become the abused has become the abuser. You become the tyranny of the majority. You take this gang mentality. If you're such a badass, you should you should face that guy like 1-to-1 instead of giving just like I'm not talking about fucking 8 Mile rap battle. There was some other videos I watched where this, just because the nerdy, gawky, geeky guy would rap, and this all this gang of black people would fucking bag on them, and you have this whole tribe mentality doing Facebook, social media, YouTube. But funnily enough, ironically, when YouTube, the whole rewind video got, which is obvious 100% of spite, got disliked, I kind of actually relished it, because it got so many millions and millions of people uploading their content, and it barely gets any notice. So maybe they do deserve it. So so it was basically a rant against Vox Populi, and Vox Populi, voice of the people, is not necessarily Vox Dei, is not necessarily the voice of the God. So majority party, yes, if in an awakened culture mass might reflect, but the way they do it, I don't think it's the voice of the God. They take their pitchfork and attack the Gillian Michaelses of the world or other people, and I mean. Well, and I was gonna go on rant on music industry, like all the shit that make us maybe people. There's a reason why people get so frustrated, and they find their own tribe, and like the shit we have with the spews on the radio, Lizzo, Billie Eilish, Cardi B, and they get the popular. They're like they're quote unquote creme de la crop of fucking shitty music, and people goes to some other platform and they take their pitchfork and attack them, or like, and some, I mean, what I'm saying is, like, I do understand when they attack Bill Gates, or like, because people got sick and tired of pharmaceutical industries and vaccination and forced vaccination and whatnot, and that's why they feel the need to like gang up, and again, so, and then thus we got this sort of revolting mentality, this rebellion, this revolution thing. But what I'm saying is, again, if a culture wants to grow, mature, and awake as a whole, this noetic consciousness, maybe we need to come down a little bit, and even mea culpa, even me too. We can, because nothing I abhor more than this mob mentality, this gang mentality, this tribe, even for the right cause, and people do it. This fucking snowflake social justice warriors, feminists, whatnot, even like Facebook, they do it against Trump. If Democrats want to lead by example, they practice what they preach, they stop with the fucking this social warrior justice movement, this mob mentality, and it's on the both sides. I understand, so, and I'm an immigrant here. I'm in California. I'm grateful. I'm lucky because from some parts of Alabama, probably it would have been, or like Texas, it would have been 1,000-fold worse. And I get it. It's like the needle keeps swinging back and forth, and maybe to balance it out, the hate and xenophobe spouted from the people from the right. So to counter that, they become the abused, kind of becomes the abuser. Narcs and empaths, they're the same thing. Empaths, they can even be worse. You see all these videos on narcissistic awareness, like the empaths can be so toxic. Jesus fucking Christ! You go down the rabbit hole of narcissistic personality disorder, and empaths paint themselves as martyr. Till Swan pointed it out. These empaths they're say the same side of the coin. I mean, they're not like this martyr, this 100% holy people. They're just too afraid to integrate the shadow. So I started off with fucking keto, ended up with fucking Till Swan. Now the point being, yeah, and that's what fucking riles me. But that's what eats me. This mob mentality, gang mentality, and even for a right cause, I don't think it's right. You cannot justify mob mentality, gang mentality by, it's worse in my country, Bangladesh. We have the social justice mob preach, like if someone steals something, fucking mob gathers around him and takes a stick and like start, even some fucking flat out like beat him to death. And I despise that. I'll always despise that till my last breath, and I'll do my best to stand up for the people who, even for the wrong reason, gets even if you're racist. There was this famous photo by this black woman is shielding this neo-Nazi or skinhead from getting beaten up by the mob. And that's what and maybe all my life shaped me for this moment, because if I wasn't bullied in high school, maybe I would be so vociferously against this mob mentality, lynch-mob, pitchfork mentality, a crowd who even for the good cause. Because just like the person who said, why is Bill Gates so malevolent, people, the top emoji was the laughing emoji. It's like people deriding him. So just all he said, and finally he said that, what, all I asked was a question. It goes on to show, it speaks more about yourself than anyone else.